Hey, good morning. It is Bertina with the New You podcast, and we've been talking about self-care. This is episode 3 of a New You podcast with Bertina, and today we're going to talk about barriers that keep us from practicing self-care, and then some just like daily habits that we may not think about that bring about an energy that keeps us from caring for ourselves. So remember to kind of like this episode, share it with friends, help me out here, guys. I'm a new podcaster. Let me know comments or anything that you would like to share with me on my email, anewuselfcare@gmail.com. That's anewuselfcare@gmail.com. You can visit me on my Facebook, my Instagram, or my website, anewuselfcare.com, of course. So, first of all, I want to talk about the fact that there's a lot of things about self-care. The last podcast, we talked about the fact that we could do self-care in about 5 minutes. Do some journaling, maybe do some stretching, take a bubble bath, just walk our dog quietly by ourselves. There's a lot of things that can be done. But today we're going to talk about what keeps us from doing those things. Now let's think about it. There's only 2 different things that keep us from doing our self-care: ourselves and outside forces. I mean, that's it. And I think, as you'll notice as we go through this podcast, we're our worst enemy. We tend to set our expectations that we're going to do this whole day of self-care and then get upset because we didn't start out at 6 o'clock in the morning. So we go, just forget it. I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. And then you do nothing all day long when you can just sit down 5 minutes and do a journal. Maybe 5 minutes later, pull a card, an oracle card, kind of look at maybe learning some information on a new subject, taking your poor dog for a walk. I mean, he's bouncing around the house just ready to go. I mean, if he can't motivate you, it's going to be kind of hard because we have to find the motivation within ourselves. So what happens a lot of times is we give up because we set too high of expectations. So what do? We need to set lower ones. Start 5 minutes. Put your journal next to your bed. Get up in the morning, sit in your bed for a moment, and just journal. Think about what you dreamed about. Maybe think about what you want to do for the day, and maybe a mantra or affirmation that you want to share for the day. Just anything. It doesn't have to be something kaboom, big, awesome. It's just something simple. And then as you sit there and you think about that, then throughout the day, just come back and think about that mantra or affirmation or that goal that you have. That's pretty simple, huh? But we lay in bed and we go, oh, I dread getting up, and we keep hitting the snooze button and keep hitting the snooze button. Or we scroll through TikTok. We could already have a journal done in about the time of 2 TikTok videos. And then we can go back to TikTok. But we just tend not to do that. And the underlying reasons a lot of times is we dread starting things because we feel like we'll never finish them or never stick to them. We self-sabotage. Many times we don't think that we deserve self-care. At many times we think, oh, it costs too much, that you go to the spa and get your nails done or get a massage. That's fine for self-care, but if that isn't what motivates you, then don't do it. Nobody has to do any of that. Many times as, family members, we feel like other people deserve that 5 minutes. I have to have 5 more minutes so I have more energy to help my kids. Or I need that 5 minutes to get lunch packed for the day, or I need 5 minutes. And really, you only need 5 minutes just to sit down and listen to your body. That's it. Take a deep breath in and out. Pick up that journal. And let's do it right now. Let's just sit quietly just for a moment. Listen to what our body's saying. And let's just write down. These words may be words such as tired or happy or at peace. You may be drawing a picture. Remember, journaling doesn't have to be words, and it doesn't have to be complete sentences, and nobody else is going to be reading it but you. So do what you want with it. So let's just take a moment. Breathe in and breathe out. Just come in touch with your body. Listen where there may be aches or pains. See if you see colors. Does your mind go to a certain person, place, or thing? These are all signals of things that you need to slow down and pay attention to. Just take a few moments to really just pay attention. Now I want you to take in a deep breath and breathe that breath, that energy, that prana, to wherever you feel like you need some energy. Your heart may be sad and heavy today, so we may need to bring our energy to our heart. Or we may be happy and bring that happiness energy out into the world and share it with the world. Take a moment to breathe and see if there's any pain or anything that you're feeling, and just breathe and let it go. Now I want you to pick up your journal, and I want you to make one pre-planned goal for today for self-care. Now you could pretend like you are your best friend and you're taking your best friend out just to do something. It may be sitting at home watching a movie, eating popcorn. Do that by yourself. Do that with a friend. Self-care doesn't mean you have to be by yourself. Self-care is when you relax and you're happy and you're laughing and you're loving life and you're relaxing. You're not stressing. You're not in control. You're not holding on to every single thing. So just make one goal for today. If you need to, ask for support. Ask a family member. Can you check on me and ask if I did my practice today, my ritual today? Will you remind me in a week just to add 2 more minutes or 1 more thing? Now, the sad thing is that sometimes others take our time and they don't mean to. You have work, you have family, you have friends, but you have to make sure that you take care of yourself before you take care of others. You have to make sure you have time. You set your boundaries for work. You don't allow them to distract you from not doing things. If your partner's always being loud when you're trying to be quiet and you ask them just to give you 5 minutes of quiet, you might want to have a discussion with them and ask why they are so selfish. Do it in a nice way because they may not even be aware, but if they continue to do it, realize that they are not respecting your boundaries. Those outside influences keep us from having self-care. If your partner wants you to watch movies every evening, that's fine, but set time before or after to do your meditation, your journaling, your yoga, your hot bath, whatever it is that you want to do for self-care. You can do both. And remember that self-care is fun. Many times our mind keeps us from pleasure. Pleasure is just finding joy in the simple things in life. Being able to walk outside and just breathe a breath of fresh air. Looking at a beautiful flower. Just taking time for yourself. You know, think about this. We are hunched over computers or hunched over things all day long. Think about how you look when you're hunched over that computer screen. Your shoulders are turned in. Your arms are up. It almost looks like a fearful stance. One of my spiritual teachers, Sahara, was talking about the fact that whenever we're sitting, we're very much bringing in fear if we are hunched over. Brings in a lot of anxiety. Think about how much anxiety we have in today's world. If we sit up, we take in a deep breath, bring our shoulders back, bring our chest out, be confident in who we are and what we are doing. That allows us to have self-care for ourselves. That brings us our power back to us. So let's think about this. Your homework for this week is to think about what blocks us from our self-care. Is it ourselves or others, or both? Maybe we want to avoid a situation with someone else, so we avoid the whole thing altogether. Let's plan a goal each day. Just get out a little planner, even just a little sheet of paper, a notebook from Walmart. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. And just write down Monday, I'm going to do this, Tuesday, this. And don't make it elaborate. I'm going to get up and go play some basketball. I'm going to get up and go to the gym. I'm going to get up and go to a movie by myself. Anything like that that makes you happy. Then I want you to make a list of 2 things that you would do for your best friend to make them happy. And then I want you to do these 2 things with your best friend and with you. Just have fun. Just enjoy. Just take some time to really see what is keeping you from self-care and make a plan to change it. As I said at the beginning, I feel like that most of the things that keep us from getting self-care is self-sabotage. It's ourselves. And then outside forces are there as well, and that doesn't help the situation at all. So look forward to you emailing me some of the things you may have decided that keeps you from doing self-care. Maybe your pre-plan, your pre-goals that you want to do this week for self-care, or maybe some things that you've decided to do just to make sure you stay on track. Remember, you can find me on my website at anewyousselfcare.com. You can email me at anewyousselfcare@gmail.com. And you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at anewyousselfcare. So I hope this wonderful day brings you about just a few minutes of self-care. You begin your ritual today, and it will continue throughout the week. I hope you have a wonderful day, and namaste.